What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back into silver, gold, and a whole other boatload of fun. So, look, all over the silver sphere, there's talk going on about the person you're seeing right here on the screen, MS or CNBC came on, and they talked about silver, and they talked about the Wall Street Silver Reddit group. They touched on a couple of different subjects. As I watched the reports, I watched them more than once. At first, I was like, that's cool. They're talking about it, but all of a sudden, I started to realize they sound condescending a little, like almost as if they're mocking what's going on. And then I thought about this as, what? That's so like the powers that be to just say, hey, go out there and just kind of mock what's going on. So let's highlight a couple of these things that they're talking about as we watch the reports, and we're going to check in with SD Bullion because it made a good point about some of the truths about silver and how much is available. And there's no sense in reinventing the wheel, and I will leave a link for their YouTube channel as well. You guys know when you go to buy gold and silver, to go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. Now, the prices are very competitive. They're usually the cheapest or the second cheapest. So if you're trying to get more bang for your buck, you definitely want to go to Money Metals Exchange. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half an ounce of silver. Keep removing the silver off the market. It is having an effect, and I'm going to show you that it is. For those of you who are looking for my address, there it is. Just pause and write it down. And you guys know I have this alternative social media platform. Well, not social media platform, but platform period. And over here, I post all kinds of things that I cannot do on YouTube without the fear of being removed like I have before. And there are a lot of good things for those of you. I guess you guys are taking a liking to this new video that came up. It's just me pointing some things out that you guys should be aware of. Also, I've been keeping it updated on the election and audit news because a lot of it's big and it's not being reported. So, speaking of the devils, there they are themselves, you guys. Wall Street Silver. I want us to go out there and support those guys, what they're doing, as I appreciate, and that's helping bring a lot of awareness out there to the precious metals market. Okay? So the link for both their Wall Street YouTube channel as well as their Reddit page, both links are down below in the description. Okay? And I'm going to talk about them too in a little bit. All right, so you're going to see Katie here talk about something. But before we get into that, I know it's late. We haven't got the morning going, but man, I'm really disappointed in cryptocurrencies. I really was expecting them to do a lot better by now. Excuse me. A lot better by now. They just continue to drop. And I can't help but feel like, again, their market's being manipulated, to be quite honest with you. I showed you that JP Morgan came out and made some comments, and then that was followed up by a couple of other people that piggybacked on it. And I was like, see, these are the same banking people that I warned you guys about out there in the crypto world that mess with our market. All right, so just be careful. And right now, they just seem to be pretty much horizontal. Yeah, less than 50%. Man, that's scary. So anyways, gold is just tickering around the $1,800 mark as they bend. They kind of go up and down slightly above that level. The same with silver, right around the $26 mark, even though they're up right now. It's going to go up. It's inevitable. We will talk about that. So I sped this up just a little bit, just because if I don't, you can get a copyright strike. So hopefully I won't get one, because I do want to play this because it's important for you guys to hear if you haven't heard it already. So let's listen to what they have to say about silver.
Name of Silver Apes, Silver Stackers, and Wall Street Silver. The 123,000 plus members encourage each other to buy bars and coins as a hedge against inflation. They want to push up the price of silver to, $1,000. The spot price right now is just hovering around $26 today. But retail traders argue there are way more paper claims, such as derivatives, for example, on silver than actual hardcore tangible silver. In other words, if demand for silver increased, supply would run short and the price would surge. But the squeeze on silver does differ from the squeeze on companies like GameStop and AMC. There's a lot of silver out there and not as many silver short sellers to it.
So she's right in the aspect that, manipulating the paper market is one thing. Trying to manipulate a commodities market is another. Well, we're not actually trying to manipulate the market. We're trying to grab control of the market is more like it. So paper markets can be manipulated, as you've seen them do with the AMC as well as the GameStop stock. Okay? So I told you guys when we first did the first silver squeeze, I told everybody, hang tight, be patient, because there's going to be a lag time before you see the results. And that is because commodities are harder to deal with. The actual results of our efforts take a little while before you start seeing them. And that's exactly what happened.
Money managers have had net long positions on the metal since 2019, according to data from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission.
If you think of the history of silver, humanity has been mining this stuff since we discovered picks and shovels, right? I mean, it's, there's plenty of silver above ground. A little like gold, it doesn't get thrown away.
And that's why many...
No, actually, that's a lie. That's absolutely a lie. She commented on it, and then this gentleman, Keith Newmeyer, came by and said, with all due respect, seems like Boyenvolt, that's the gentleman's honor, doesn't know the silver market very well. 90% of all silver mined in history has gone into waste dumps. We know this. Why? Because it's in your computers, your cell phones, you know what I mean? Commercial uses, solar panels, stuff like that. So it gets dumped away because it's not feasible to try to dig it up and recycle it at the moment. When silver goes up in value, you will see a huge effort of people trying to recycle it. So 90% of what this guy's talking about, sure, it was above ground, but now it's back in the ground. I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of less than 4 billion ounces that's available. Now, that may sound like a lot, but it's not. Just to put things into perspective, the world demand for silver every year is 1 billion ounces. And since 2004, they've been deficit. They haven't been able to mine 1 billion ounces. So the demand is higher than the supply. The only reason why you're not seeing prices skyrocket is because it's being manipulated. Countries don't want gold and silver to compete with their currencies, especially in the United States. And so they use the banks, the bullion banks, the comics, the paper market to try to hold down the value of gold and silver. Except for there's a problem. They can only do it for so long. And now with Basel III kicked in, yeah, we still see them manipulate because people are like, you're still manipulating. Yes, they are. They are doing it. But this gentleman, I think, goes on to say that August 13th is the last of the short contracts. So by August 13th, let's put it this way, between now and the end of the year period is going to be very interesting. Again, there's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen. I told you guys, give them up to 2 weeks. The end of this week would be my 2 weeks. And then you're really going to start to see the price change. They still have contracts that they have to fill, physical deliveries of silver they need to get. So they're going to keep doing what they can to hold down the value. So that shouldn't be surprising to you at all. Thanks to the fellows over there at Wall Street Silver. This is posted by, looks like Ditch the Deep State. Sorry about that. Here's what it says. Comics Warehouse, 900,000 ounces out of the vault. 900,000. MTB, 280,000 out of vault. HSBC Bank, 590,000 out of the vault. HBC Bank sold 1,000 contracts recently from their house account. This movement out of their vault could be associated with that. They're getting the hell out of the silver market. They're closing down, man, because they don't have a way to manipulate the market anymore, and they can't make the kind of money that they did. But also, a lot of these banks are buying their own silver. So if you look here, I love this Silverback Rampage, impact on the comics. So when people say the silver squeeze isn't working, no, it is. It's been working. I keep telling you guys it's working. Keep buying. People want that immediate gratification. Man, the price not going up? Well, there's nobody really talking about it? No, if you know what you're looking for, you can see that indeed it's still working. Look at this. The start of the squeeze, January 27th, registered eligible total, End of the business day, July 9th. You can see how much it went down. End of business day. In one day, 921,080 ounces gone. In 1 week, it looks like over 1 million, obviously. So the change since the silver squeeze, that's only been 160 business days since we started this. Registered, negative 38,660,895. That's minus 25.9%. Eligible is minus 9, just over 9 million. And the total together, so overall, it's negative 48 million, or over 48 million, which is 12.1%. And that's in the comics warehouse. So when people go, the silver squeeze isn't working. Yes, it is. I know you guys want to see it in the price. And we did expect for it to change a lot quicker. It's going to change. So you should look at this as your time, the opportunity to stack up and get more. Because once it takes off, it's going to get to a price that you can't afford. And you're going to be like, damn, I wish I'd have got more. Now's the time. Let's continue.
Around the world do believe currencies are very vulnerable and that physical investments are the way to go. They even helped push up the price of silver to a 5-month high just this past January, which is why we call that a short squeeze as well. And according to the Silver Institute, the demand for bars like this, and this is a silver bar right now, are expected to soar to 26% of total demand, up from 8% last year. One member of a group of silver apes told me that he believes the market is manipulated by bullion banks, and that's why he's holding on to this stuff for a lot longer. I know.
Look how they said. He believes, like, you know, like almost as if they're mocking. A member told me that he believes. What do you mean he believes? It's the truth, and these people know it. This is just one example. JP Morgan pays $920 million for manipulating the precious metals market. That's just one example. So for her to go, well, this Reddit guy told me that he believes, like, you know, almost as if they're just mocking you, like, the nerve. There's no such thing happening. Yes, it is.
I knew you wanted to see it.
This. I thought it was an iPhone
over
at
here.
first.
Yeah,
Come on, sit right on up. Come to the parents' table. Here, come on up.
This is worth about $300.
This is $300. That's heavy.
It's 10 ounces.
That is really, that's a lot of bullion.
It's quite heavy. I should have looked up the weight so that I could have made maybe a book for anybody watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is...
It's like a little credit card.
Right?
Except worth
a lot more.
Well,
especially on a credit card.
Especially because so many people are storing silver, gold in their houses, or more specifically, if you're getting a lot, in vaults all across the world.
You hear that? That's right. People are taking physical delivery of the precious metals. Man, I'm so proud of my peeps. All you guys out there, man. All the apes. The silver. Look, man. Wall Street Silver. You know, Chris Marcus. Lynette Zhang. All those people out there, man. Making people at SD Bullion. I feel like I'm missing some people. But look at all those people out there bringing awareness and educating the public on the truth about precious metals is so important. You are making a difference. The only real money is gold and silver. They're going to try to trick you out of it. They're going to try to lie their ass off. They're going to do whatever it takes to try to get it from you. Don't fall for it. Okay? So listen to our friends over there at SD Bullion because they get over to the inflation report that I like, and let's listen to what they have to say.
Look.
Reddit traders now have their sights set on silver. The social media movement is gaining momentum, and they want to send the price sky high. Christina Partsinevelos is here with more. Christina.
Oh, yeah.
They go by the name of Silver Ape, Silver Stackers.
Yeah. That was a report I just showed you. Oh, here is where they touch on this one. Hear this one.
With the details, Christina P. I
they
don't
did
know.
2 episodes.
How do you get from 26 to 1,000?
You corner the market. So this is a group of Redditors, or a subgroup, and they're called the Silver Apes, Silver Stackers, or Wall Street Silver. And they have roughly 123,000 plus members, and they encourage each other to buy actual bars and coins of silver as a hedge against inflation. There's even another website that markets t-shirts.
I want you to think about something. Wall Street Silver has 123,000 members. Just on their Reddit page, 123,000. If every single member, if every single one of them bought 10 ounces, do you understand what kind of hit that would be to the market? That would be huge. And if they could get together once a month and do it every month, grab 10 somehow off the market, there already was a nationwide deficit or worldwide deficit in silver. They don't have the silver. They sold more contracts than they actually have silver. And they're going to lie their ass off to try to get it from you.
That say cash is trash, silver is money, that you can see on your screen right now. And they want to push up the price of silver. Yes, $1,000 is a steep point, but they do want to see it climb higher, especially considering the spot price is around 26 bucks, like you mentioned today. Retail traders argue that there are more paper claims, such as derivatives, let's say, on silver than actual tangible silver itself.
I like how she said it. See, this is what I mean. They sound so condescending. They claim as if it's not the truth. Well, they claim. It just drives me insane when you hear them talk like that. So when I first heard this, I was like, oh yeah, they're talking about this is good. I blew it off. Later on I came back and I listened again. I go, they do sound condescending. They really do. I talked to one member who said he believes that the bullion banks are manipulating the market, as if it's not true. So when you hear him talk, it's so condescending. It's just mind-blowing.
Today, retail traders argue that there are more paper claims, such as derivatives.
No, there's no arguing. That's the truth. We know this. It's not like they're arguing like there's an actual debate. There's no debate. That is fact. But the way they make it sound, see, this is what I don't like about it. This is why you don't trust the media.
Let's say on silver, than actual tangible silver itself involved. So in other words, the demand for silver increased, supply would run short and the price would surge. But the squeeze on silver, though, it does differ from the squeeze on companies like GameStop. There's a lot of silver out there and not as many silver short sellers to attack. So money managers have actually been net long positions on the metal since 2019, according to data.
Yeah, but that alone. Okay, so if they're going to go short on a metal, that means they anticipate that the value is going to go down. And the fact that they're even comparing the paper market to the actual physical demand, that alone tells you that these people don't know it. Well, they do, or they're lying to you, or they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. All right? So, it's just like the long and the shorts. We don't care about that. What we care about is, can you fill those contracts with actual silver? We are betting that you can't. We don't care about the paper market.
Data from the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Many in the Reddit community believe currencies are vulnerable, especially into the near future, and that physical investments are the way to go. They even helped push up the price of silver to a 5-month high back in January. And according to the Silver Institute, demand for bars like this one I happen to find from our safe is expected to soar to 26% of total demand. That's up from 8% just last year. And one member of a group called Silver Apes told me he believes the market is manipulated by certain banks, and so that's why he's holding on to this stuff for a little bit longer.
Wow, that's a flex there. She's got a bar of it. I've just got some silver eagles and silver dollars somewhere around the house in a shoebox. Christina P., thank you very much for
Yeah, that feeling you get when your pin pan starts twitching because you want to reach to the screen and just go. So if I'm not mistaken, they keep going into the Hunt Brothers. Let's listen.
bringing us that silver trade. We appreciate it. Now let's trade it, guys. Her bar and all. If you take a look at this, BK, I go to you for this first. Do you
trade it? Now, again, make sure you understand the difference. They're talking about the paper silver. You don't want that. Trade it. They're right. Sell it and get the physical. You don't want paper.
Believe that there can be any way that silver, we saw the squeeze back in, I want to say, February of this year. The squeeze got you to maybe like the 30, 31 level. 1,000 is a far leap, is it not?
1,000 is a far leap from $26. Absolutely. If I do the math, that seems to be a very big jump. That being said, listen, you know, the Hunt brothers tried to do it back in the 70s and
condescending. Now we're going to talk about the Hunt brothers.
And it worked for a while. They cornered the silver market, and then all of a sudden, the people came back and raised margins, and they went bankrupt. So, yeah, could you create a short squeeze in any commodity by buying it up? Absolutely. I like silver. I think you can get a breakout here. If I'm long silver at 26 and it goes to 35 or 40, I'm still going to be happy. So I don't think you need to think the $1,000 is your price target just to buy silver right here.
All right, so at least.
So, anyways, to get to the point, they bring up the Hunt brothers is what they do. Okay? They bring up the Hunt brothers. Let me show you something that's really cool that I found in a Reddit group, because it does make the point without the words. Shout out to, what is this? I don't have my glasses. This looks like, I believe the name's going to be on this video anyways. But look, it makes a great point. Watch this. So this is the Hunt brothers. Almost. This is Wall Street Silver. This is us. This is Silver Squeeze right here. Look at. Boom. Bring down the market. Bring it down. Bring it down. Yeah, that's right. I love this. I love this, man. That is a great example. Sure, the Hunt brothers were by themselves. There you go. That's the person who did this. And a shout out to, I don't know how to, Creflo Silver. I hope I don't hack your name up, man. But a shout out to you. That is a perfect example. The Hunt brothers were by themselves. The Silver Squeeze people is a worldwide army. You can make a difference. Huge. So for them to compare, I mean, I don't know where they're going with that. So you can't compare the Hunt brothers. But again, they're going to do everything they can to really just try to discredit this movement, laugh it off like it's no big deal. They'll even throw you a bone and go, well, they might make a difference if they go up 8%. You know what I mean? They're really condescending. But keep in mind, they're talking about the paper market. Their job is to work for their masters. Their masters are part of the same crime syndicate that controls our politics, the banking, the media. So, they got to pitch it like it's bullcrap. We all know. We don't care about what they say. Watch what they do. A perfect example is JP Morgan coming on, Jamie Dimon bad-mouthing Bitcoin, causing it to drop in value. Then running around, using his money, going through an exchange in Europe, and then buying Bitcoin. That's how two-faced these people are. Anyways, to get over to the inflation numbers, because I want to talk about that.
Is gone into waste dumps. When was the last time you recycled a refrigerator, toaster, stove, TV, etc.? Likely never. Buy physical. Estimates are that human beings have mined over 50 billion ounces of silver to date, the roughly 5,000 plus years that we've been doing so. And yes, much of that has been thrown out and not recycled, while also a large portion sits in trace industrial uses like within the computer, cell phone, or television you are watching this video on. What matters most for investors is that silver bullion in 3/9 fine pure investment grade form, there's only about 4 billion ounces of it above ground, held between world commodity exchanges, reported ETF holdings, and private investor hoards. So that's 120 billion in present value, in a world of increasing fiat currency debasement and some 300 trillion in asset values. Silver is poised for an exponential move this decade.
Yep.
Today we got an even higher consumer price inflation data reading reported. Consumer price inflation is now reported at 5.4%.
So anyways, just so you are aware, because he's going to make a point. The government keeps trying to tell you what inflation is. First, they try to tell you it's transforming, or whatever it was. Temporary is what they were going with. But here's my thing. The way they report inflation numbers has been changed several times. So the real inflation number isn't being told to us. So if it starts to, they give you a formula, or they get a formula, and if the number is higher than what they want to tell us, they change the formula so that the number is lower. So it makes a good case. Listen here.
And we all know that that has been hedonically adjusted since 1980 over the last 4 decades or so. True inflation's probably been running around double digits for a few decades compounding. This 5.4% inflation rate puts the United States currently right between South Africa and Mexico. U.S. bondholders are losing tremendous real value to inflation, and it appears the financial authorities' playbook is similar to how we wiped out the then record.
Yeah, this is crazy. Look at these are real central bank rates. If it's in the negative, and you're saving money in the bank, that means you're losing money. Yes, just for keeping it there, you're losing money. This is why I don't trust banks. This is why I don't have any money in the bank. I just don't talk the talk, I walk the walk. So if you want to protect yourself, don't leave your money in the bank. That cheap fiat currency has no value. To protect yourself from a bail-in, to protect yourself from a crash, to protect yourself from inflation, to protect yourself from hyperinflation, you need to have precious metals.
High World War II debt levels, seen here. The red line here is reported inflation. The blue line is the real interest rate for bondholders.
Wow.
Note that the last major secular bullion bull market of the 1970s also was a decade of low real negative interest rates, while commodities ramped in fiat-denominated prices. Here are some recent price rampings driving up current 40-year high inflationary numbers. This is the price escalation in...
So, just so you're aware, this is what he's talking about, inflation. This is the cost to buy something. So rental cars are up 87.7%. Used cars are up 45.2%. Gas is up 45%. Airlines, moving, hotels, furniture, bacon, TV, fruit, shoes, fish, milk. Do you see those numbers? So think about it this way. You have your currency. Let's say you have a $100 fiat dollar. All right, so you got 100. And at one time with that $100, I think I did this example. Let me just go back to the old example to make my point. Let's say you have a $1 US. And let's say gold is equal. It's now worth $1 US. So at the moment they're equal. But with your 1 US fiat dollar, you can go in and buy 2 loaves of bread. Congratulations. But all of a sudden, inflation hits. And the cost of that bread goes up. And you still have that 1 US dollar. Except for when you go to buy your 2 loaves, you can't. Instead of that 1 US dollar, because of inflation, you can only afford 1 loaf of bread. So that same dollar that used to get you 2 loaves of bread now only gets you 1 loaf of bread. So your purchasing power has been reduced. That's inflation. Now what's it got to do with gold? Well, when inflation starts to kick in, people move over to gold. And the value of gold goes up. So at one time it was $1 for gold per ounce. And you had your $1 and you could buy 2 loaves of bread. Inflation kicks in, your gold goes up in value, now it's worth $2. But your 1 fiat dollar, well, you still have your fiat dollar, but the problem is, what you used to be able to buy with it, you can only buy half. So where your fiat dollar has lost half its value, gold has doubled. So with your 1 fiat dollar, you could get 1 loaf of bread instead of 2, congratulations. But if you sold, but because of that, your gold has increased to $2 an ounce. So if you sold it, you would get $2 and you would be able to buy those same 2 loaves of bread. You see how the gold has kept its value? So at one time, it was $1 an ounce. You got your $1 and your $1 got you 2 loaves of bread. Then after inflation, something happens. That same $1, the dollar doesn't change, but instead of being able to get 2 loaves of bread, you can only get 1. But because of inflation, so gold has gone up to twice as much. So now you get $2. But here's the thing. Your purchasing power hasn't changed. So if you sold that gold, you get $2 and you get 2 loaves of bread. You see how the loaves of bread you can get plus the value of gold matched? That's how you protect yourself from inflation. That's why you should hold gold and silver. I cannot encourage that enough. But once again, I mean, this is a really good example. I like this. So that was the Hunt brothers. It was just the Hunt brothers. But it wasn't the silver squeeze people. There's an army worldwide. So if you think about how many people are in the Wall Street silver group alone, 123,000, man. if coordinated through this group, if what? That's $700,000 worth of silver eagles, people. 700,000. That's what it looks like. Monster boxes, baby. 500 ounces per monster box. 500 ounces in each one of these bad boys. I love going over to this group just to look at pictures so I can get all pumped. Look at that. Hold the line. That's right. See, here's the beautiful thing about that. It's not just these big bars of silver that spout out hold the line. It's what's right above it that makes sure that nobody touch the silver that spells out hold the line that I love. Oh, yeah, look at that, man. Look at those bars, man. Those are sexy. See, that's doing it right there. What do you got, kilo bars and 100-ounce bars? Is that what it is? Whew, man. Some of you stackers out there. What? It's 1,000 hour. Oh, it's 1,000-ounce bar. Yeah, good Lord, look how thick that is, man. Look at this. Man, I swear you people, some of you out there, oh, don't tell me that 500 ounces comes today. Word is getting out there, you peeps. Look at this, gold and silver. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So word, oh, look at this. Who's this? Don't sell, buy more. Who's this? The Black Bird monster boxes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10. What are we looking at here? 500 ounces, 5,000. So 5,500 ounces right there in monster boxes. Sweet. This person is a collector too. See this? Now I have a plethora of these coins. A ton of them. For you stackers, stay away from collectible coins as much as I want you to stay. I mean, although the Eagles are, but you'll pay a higher premium. Right now, you want to stack silver. Just get as much as you can. All right? So, look, you guys, I love this. And, yes, I heard about this report, and a lot of people have been talking about what the news is saying. I did like it. I was listening to it. But then after I heard it a couple times, it did sound very condescending. And I want to elaborate just a little bit more on a lot of things that are being covered. And again, shout out to SD Bullion for the video that they put out. I borrowed the last part of it just because they do make a good point when it comes to inflation. And from that report, I wanted to make my example. So I will leave a link for them, their YouTube channel. Okay. And again, you guys, don't be impatient. Hang tight. Look at this. Look at this. 116 days. This is the damage we caused. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. I'll say we'll take the credit for it. All right. And again, go support our friends as well at Money Metals. You know, they were voted as the best overall retail store out there. Can't go wrong with that. That's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. I'm out.